What's up, guys? New build to show off. This is going out to my buddy Jeff, his first watch from me. He sent me a picture of the dial that he liked, and we were able to laser this out on brass. And then I went back through, aged the background completely. My laser guy was able to get the background done out. And then I went back through with ager and went through and got the elk and the antlers and aged around there. I think it came out pretty awesome. This is in an antique bronze cerakoted case with matching crown. We have a milled case back that we did in the same antique bronze, as well as the ring on here. We have a vintage brass bezel. So they're becoming more and more tough for me to locate. But it goes with the dial nicely. Got a set of gold handset on there with a custom painted seconds hand. And then this is on a super soft suede leather with off-white stitching. Actually, it looks like it's brown stitching. Most of the time I do off-white, but that is brown stitching. And a distressed brass preview buckle, the little logo on there. And I hope you love it, man. You will love this strap. Like, it is the softest strap that I've got. It's painted edges, it's suede. You've got your painted edges up the side. Have your keeper either direction. I like seeing this stitch, but it's real easy to just roll it around. And no stitch on there. But this is normally a stainless steel case. A logoed case back. Everything's normally stainless steel. So bead blasted, cerakoted in antique bronze, and then heated up and locked in. So bezel on this will go left, it'll go right. These are tension ring bezels, so there's no clicking in any direction. Not that you would really do anything like that with this kind of bezel. It's just kind of a cool looking bezel. I don't know how functional that would be unless you know how to look at the sun based on what time it is to know where north is. That's a thing. But you can turn it left, you can turn it right. It's held on there pretty tight. You shouldn't accidentally push it or move it if you want to keep it in this orientation. Automatic and mechanical, so you can wind it, you can wear it, you can put it in a watch winder. But if it's dead, or you're not going to be very active if you're driving or something like that, make sure you wind it just a little bit. And how you do that is you back the crown off the threads until you hear it and feel it clicking in your hand. At that point, you can wind. And a wind is a turn that way. Turning it back towards you doesn't do anything, but it's a lot easier to keep your finger spacing and just go back and forth. You can do this if you want, just don't start threading it back on. If you do this for 4 or 5 seconds before you put it on, even if you're not very active, you'll keep time throughout the day. You've got a rotor down here that spins back and forth and goes all around. You'll feel it in there. That is winding your watch as you move around. And this is just force winding. Doesn't turn that, but it's just force winding it up. You cannot overwind it, so don't worry about that. Once the mainspring is all the way up, it is just not accepting any more input. It's kind of like a rev limiter kind of situation. If you do this for closer to 15 seconds, you're going to max out your 31+ hour power reserve on it. Like I said, you cannot overwind it, so don't worry about that. When you're happy with your winding, you're going to pull it to the 1 and only click. You can now set your time. You'll notice it does not have a hacking movement, so that's going to just keep going on you. You'll also notice you've got a wobble crown. That deflects lateral pressure from going into the stem and into the movement. So when you're pushing and prying on it, you are not putting any adverse pressure through that stem into the movement. If you kind of pull it a little bit, you won't even feel that. You won't even feel that it's moving on you. Okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 2:45.
2:47 p.m. So now you're going to have to get a feel for where 2:47 will be. That's 2:45. You know that up there's 2:50. So you're about halfway, a little under. And that, sir, is your build. As with every build I do, they come with matching beads. Entirely up to you how stylish you want to be. So we'll come in a BBW special edition box. Comes on a nice plaid fabric pillow that matches. Every build's going to come with watch cleaner. This is good on all glass and metal parts, so everything here in the center, non-streaking, non-toxic, non-residue. Also come with leather conditioner. If your strap ever feels like it's not as soft or as perfect, apply it on the front and the back. A little bit will go a long way. And then lastly, you're going to have some Novus 2. This is fine scratch remover. It's like Polywatch. It's for your acrylic glass. You can scratch it, but if you do, put a tiny bit of this on it, just a tiny, and buff against it using your included microfiber. So if your scratch is up and down, go left and right, haze it, fill that scratch up, and then polish it off. If it's still there, wait a little bit, put some more on there, let that solidify that you've got on there, because as you know, being a painter, it's kind of like if you're going back over a spot that hasn't dried yet, and when you start going over it again, it starts pulling out what's already there. So you don't want it to pull out what's over there, but basically you're building that plastic back up and polishing it. So if you scratch a Cerakote, that's different. Use some gun oil, see if you can get it out of there. If you scratch it deep, you're going to get into silver. So it's kind of like car paint. So if, but it's not car paint. It's hardened. It's a hardened material that's on there. But you can get in and on it. But that's your build, man. I hope you love it. And if you want me to build you something custom and unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe, so I put them up all the time. Thanks, guys.